Hello, friends. This is Pritha with 5 Minutes of Authenticity. Welcome back to this space where we talk about aspects of life and living that my profession as an authenticity life coach grants me thanks to the wonderful people I get to speak with, people I learn from, and I am so privileged to share this with you in this space. Welcome back if you've been here before, and thank you if you're visiting for the first time. We choose a topic every month, and February we've been talking about the courage to be seen and giving ourselves the love and compassion to step out of a place of judgment, of self-judgment almost, and start to stand in our truth, which is what this episode is about. This was a month of courage, visibility, and letting ourselves be seen. And as we have done that, as we have reflected on it, and I hope you've looked at my reflection tool that's available on my website. It is free to download anytime. I want to bring us to a moment of reflection. Being seen or learning to become more visible in an authentic, mindful way isn't the end of the journey. Actually, it is the beginning of something much, much deeper, something very quieter, something very transformative. And when you let yourself be seen, you are letting yourself face your own mirror unhinged. And once you meet your truth, you can no longer live in the old story. I have found an interesting similarity in the clients who I have spoken with. And that is where I have realized that it is not the age that is my common factor. It is more the mindset. Most people that I talk to or who find it useful to talk to me are going through a process of rewriting their story in different facets of their life. And so this particular episode hits very close to home, given the work that I do. This month we explored the courage to show up as ourselves, the courage to stop performing, but being authentic for ourselves, this courage to stop hiding in tiny ways, and the courage to let the right people meet the real you. And here is the most beautiful, but sometimes the most uncomfortable thing about courage. It reveals what's no longer true for you. And so if you go back to that first episode of authenticity and approval, it is not that version that is seeking approval anymore because you have evolved. It is authentic. It shows you the places where you've been living inside as a narrative that was never yours, or maybe it was yours at that point, but that narrative was shaped by approval, by fear, by conditioning, by culture, by family, by survival, by circumstances, but it no longer holds true. Elements of it have either disappeared or you have outgrown them. So when you're no longer hiding, and you have finally decided to show up as who you are, you can finally see the story that you've been carrying. And that brings us to a powerful moment, a moment that often many of us avoid because it feels big. The moment you realize you don't have to keep living the old story, you don't have to keep repeating those patterns, you don't have to keep telling yourselves the old story. You don't have to keep believing in the same limiting truths or beliefs. You don't have to keep shrinking to fit into a narrative that no longer honors who you are today or who you are intending to become. Courage gives you clarity, and courage also gives you the ability to make a choice, because with clarity comes a very decisive mind where we can make a choice, a right choice for the right reasons. Conforming is no longer in our dictionary. So this is where authenticity becomes an agency. And that is very empowering, friends, when your own authenticity becomes your agency and the reason to be who you are. As we move on to March, we are stepping into a new theme, something that I want you to think about. Let's talk about rewriting the narrative. Unlearning, a month of reframing, a month of reclaiming the story you tell about yourself. Because once you've rooted yourself in January and allowed yourself to be seen in February, you are finally ready to ask, what story have I been living and what story do I want to live now? There is an activity that I do in my authenticity workshop that I will share with you next month that might give you a visual representation of what I'm talking about and how we can start to rewrite the narrative, take the truths we have uncovered in February about ourselves, and start to shape them into a story that is aligned, empowered, and deeply personal. So as we close off this month, I want to leave you with this. Just a few takeaways from what we talked about. Being seen is not the destination. It is the doorway. It is the threshold. And on the other side of this doorway is the story you're ready to write. You're ready to cross over into a space where you are ready to rewrite your own truths. It is a story that honors your voice, your truth, your process of becoming. A story that doesn't come from a place of fear, but rather from a place of freedom. It doesn't come from approval, friends. It comes from authenticity, to go back to our first episode. Next month, we will begin the work of unlearning, reframing, and reclaiming. I cannot wait to talk about that with you in the new narrative that we shall all write together. Until then, stay well, stay safe. This is Pritha, your host, with 5 minutes of authenticity. Thank you, friends.